You know, every single second of every day, there's a silent, invisible war being waged inside your body. It's this constant battle on a totally microscopic scale against just an endless stream of invaders.
So, how in the world does your body defend itself against this constant siege? We're talking bacteria, viruses, toxins. The answer isn't just brute force, it's actually intelligence, it's strategy, and it's a highly specialized team of agents. And these agents are called antibodies, or as you might also know them, immunoglobulins. Think of them like your body's own personal secret service. They're highly trained, they're incredibly specific, and they are constantly on patrol to identify and neutralize threats before they can even cause harm. So today, let's meet three of the most critical agents on this elite team. All right, first up, let's meet the most abundant and versatile agent on the force, immunoglobulin G, or as we'll call it, IgG. This antibody is really the backbone of what's known as your humoral immunity. That's the part of your immune system that operates in your body's fluids. And you can really see its dominance right here. IgG makes up a staggering 75% of all the antibodies found in your blood and other bodily fluids. I mean, it is the workhorse, the general duty officer that's basically everywhere, controlling infections all across your body's tissues. Its sheer numbers make it the first line of defense in most of these internal conflicts. So IgG has this amazing multi-pronged attack plan. First, it doesn't just find the bad guys, it grabs onto them, immobilizes them, and tags them for destruction. This tagging process is called opsonization, and it's basically like painting a giant fluorescent target on the enemy for other immune cells to see. Second, it calls for backup. It kicks off a chain reaction called the complement system, which brings in a whole cascade of proteins to help obliterate the invader. And finally, it can directly grab onto and neutralize toxins released by bacteria, just rendering them completely harmless.
And this is IgG's most remarkable superpower. It is the only antibody that can pass from a mother to her fetus right through the placenta. This is incredible because it gives a newborn a critical head start, equipping them with a ready-made defense system against all the pathogens the mother has ever encountered. So for the first 6 months of life, this maternal IgG is the baby's primary guardian. Amazing, right?
Okay, so IgG is fantastic for patrolling our internal tissues, but what about the major points of entry? You know, the mucosal surfaces of our gut, our respiratory tract, our eyes, all the places that are in direct contact with the outside world? Well, that requires a completely different kind of specialist.
And that brings us to our next agent, immunoglobulin A, or IgA. If IgG is the internal security force, think of IgA as the border patrol. It's specifically designed to guard our massive mucosal frontiers. Now, one of the key things to know about IgA is that it actually exists in two forms. There's a single unit version in the blood, sure, but the real star of the show is secretory IgA, or sIgA. This is a much larger structure, made of multiple units joined together, which makes it incredibly effective at its job on those mucosal surfaces. We're talking your gut, saliva, even your tears. Unlike the more aggressive IgG, IgA's main strategy is something called immune exclusion. Instead of triggering a big, messy, inflammatory fight, sIgA acts more like a bouncer at a club. It's fantastic at trapping pathogens in mucus, causing them all to clump together. This basically stops them from ever reaching our cells, and they're just cleared from the body, often without us ever even knowing they were there. It's this elegant, non-inflammatory preventative defense. And this is the really crucial part. IgA is incredibly intelligent. It has to perform this delicate balancing act. It has to neutralize dangerous pathogens while at the same time tolerating the trillions of beneficial bacteria that live in our gut and are absolutely essential for our health. IgA is what helps maintain this critical harmony, keeping the peace right there at the border. Okay, so we've met the workhorse and the border guard. Now let's move on to the most mysterious member of the team, an agent whose full purpose has been a puzzle to scientists for decades, immunoglobulin D, or IgD. For the longest time, IgD was just an enigma. But as this quote suggests, recent discoveries are finally shedding some light on its really sophisticated role. It's not a frontline brawler like IgG or a simple gatekeeper like IgA. It's more of a master strategist, a regulator that fine-tunes the entire immune response. And this is where we see IgD's core genius. It mostly sits on the surface of immune cells called B cells, and it acts kind of like a dimmer switch.
On one hand, it stops these cells from overreacting and attacking our own body, which is super important, but on the other hand, it keeps them primed and ready to launch a powerful, precise attack against actual foreign threats. It's the ultimate quality control officer.
Secreted IgD also has another fascinating job. It can actually arm other immune cells, particularly ones called basophils. By latching onto their surface, IgD gives these cells an adaptive superpower, the ability to recognize very specific threats. So when that threat shows up, the basophils are triggered to release signals that amplify the entire immune response, seriously enhancing surveillance at our mucosal surfaces. So the crucial takeaway here is that none of these agents work alone. IgG, IgA, and IgD aren't individual freelancers. They are a highly coordinated team. Each one has a specialized role, and they're all working together to give us this comprehensive, multi-layered protection.
So let's just recap real quick. We have IgG, the all-purpose protector, patrolling our blood and tissues. We have IgA, the specialist border patrol agent, guarding our mucosal surfaces. And we have IgD, the intelligent system regulator, fine-tuning the entire response and enhancing surveillance. Each one is absolutely essential for keeping that invisible war inside you in check.
Together, they form this incredible defense network. But they're not the only ones, which kind of leaves us with a final thought. If these are just 3 of the key players on the team, what other specialists, agents like IgM and IgE, are working inside you right now, each with their own unique skills